Welcome to another installment of A More Perfect Career, a place where information is shared, ideas are exchanged, and individuals in career transition gain insights about landing their perfect job. So good morning, everybody. Greg Emsley here with another edition of A More Perfect Career. Today, I have Rich Breymeier with me. Rich is the president of Flashpoint Digital Marketing. He is also the owner of Flashpoint Digital Marketing. Real briefly, Rich was born and raised in Western Pennsylvania, where he graduated from Indiana University of Pennsylvania with a dual bachelor's in international business and Asian cultural studies. Then attending on scholarship the University of Pittsburgh Slavic Language Institute, where he completed Pitt's Summer Accelerated Russian program before pursuing employment. Rich then spent the last 6 years working in sales and business development for startups related to the tech industry, mainly software as a service. Taking the talents he had gained through his years in technology, coupled with further education and know-how from experts in the industry, Rich bootstrapped Flashpoint Digital Marketing to help businesses develop their sales and presence for a digital age. Now, Flashpoint Digital Marketing creates custom solutions. Here, Rich takes the time to understand the mission and the culture of an organization and to work properly to promote that message using tools and platforms essential for success in this century's digital and social age. Rich, welcome to the program. How are you today?
Very good, Greg. Thanks for having me.
Well, I'm really glad to get you on here. We have done some things together with both of our businesses, and it really struck me as using LinkedIn and tying LinkedIn with other social media platforms, how effective that can be for business owners. Absolutely. And one of the things a lot of business owners do not understand is how all of this social and digital marketing works and how it can all work together and how truly powerful it can be. So I wanted to get you on here today and just ask you some questions and kind of get some words of wisdom for the people in the audience.
Sounds good.
So as I mentioned, you use LinkedIn as a way to help business owners as well as people in career transition. Can you tell me just a little bit about your background?
Sure. So like the little bit of information that you gave, excuse me, on my work history. So I spent the last 6 or so years in sales and business development, trying to promote software as a service for companies. And one of the main drivers for that was LinkedIn. I've had some extensive training at specifically one of the organizations I worked at. We had people from LinkedIn come in and train us on using it as a sales tool. And that's something that I've kind of stuck with, continue to develop over the years in my career, and use in my business today.
Very good. Wonderful. What ultimately led you to go into business for yourself?
Well, I saw something, a little bigger on the horizon. Working in sales and business development for so long, acquiring a lot of different skills. I've found that, these are things that I could take on the road for myself. I wanted to focus on something more that I had a passion around. And that's what I did. I found an organization out in California that educates it's a group of marketers that educate on the different factors of digital marketing. Each is a specialist. I got a wealth of knowledge from that, went into business, and I serve organizations out here in the Pittsburgh area.
Very good. Very good. So you're now the owner of Flashpoint Digital Marketing. Give us maybe a little bit more detail. Exactly what is it that Flashpoint does?
Right. And it's hard to explain. I think where there's a disconnect, people talk about social channel management and SEO and all these big buzzwords. And I think that flies over a lot of people's heads. Basically what I do is I help companies build their sales and presence using online methods. So when it comes to tools like search engines, we're making sure that clients are as easily findable in the search on the first page as possible. Now that takes time, but that's one of the services that we provide. We help companies make sure that they're showing up where their competitors currently exist, so that they're not falling off. They're not falling behind. My clients, in a good way, is getting them up to speed, getting them up to par with their competitors, making sure that they have success above and beyond what's currently happening out there in their market against their competitors.
Very good. Well, you touched on something very important there. You started mentioning SEO and channel management, and I've heard the term ClickFunnels, and
right.
All of these terms related to a lot of the things that you do. And I will tell you, there are a lot of business owners that don't understand how all of those terms relate to helping them in their business and how they all play together.
Sure.
So for somebody that does not understand a lot of that, you are very good at kind of bringing that down to earth. I've worked personally with other people who tend to talk very high level, don't understand that there's a certain segment of business owners out there very, very good at what they do with regards to running their business. So you're very good at bringing a lot of that type of stuff down to earth for business owners.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me how some of those same principles then relate to somebody who is in a career transition, career change, looking for a new job, maybe not happy in their current job.
Sure. Yeah. So I guess where we can kind of use a relatable topic is with social media. So the way that social media benefits businesses is that each platform, whether it's Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or Twitter, there's an audience. There's a group of people who are subscribed to those tools, who on a constant basis see the advertisements, the content that their friends, their colleagues, whomever are putting out there. So you have an audience that you can tap into if you're a business, maybe offering a product in some way. If you're someone who's looking for a job, and this is where we get into LinkedIn, you're putting yourself in front of employers. It's still a networking tool, a networking platform, but it's the professional platform. And you can really there's a lot of abilities that LinkedIn has that someone who's looking for a job, they can tap into and put themselves in front of the right people that they might not be able to do anywhere else. With the traditional, hiring methods that are out there, you have an HR department, they're probably using some type of software to, file and make appropriate searches related to the skill sets that the company is looking for. And you might not get how do you know what they're, exactly what they're looking for, the keywords that are popping out. This is a way to get in front of, the HR people, the employer themselves, with your skill sets that you might not have in other ways, in other methods.
Wonderful. Okay. So with regards to that, then, there might be two different categories of people out there on LinkedIn who are in the process of a job search. One, they're active. They may be unemployed now, and they're very actively looking for a job. But the other one are people who are currently employed, and they need to be discreet in the way they go about looking for a job. How can LinkedIn help both of these different sets of clients?
Sure. So I think what I would mention as far as the abilities that LinkedIn has. So if you have a LinkedIn profile, there's a big blue tab that's at the top of your LinkedIn profile. And one of the buttons that you can click on is jobs. And that jobs tab drops down, a huge set of abilities that you have to your disposal. And you talk about, the state of your job search, whether you're active or you're doing it discreetly. You can actually make mention of how you are currently looking for a position, not to the public, but you can put it into the tool so that it helps you direct you on the right path and make the right choices into looking for further employment. So for someone who's openly looking, there are abilities to, make that more well known. But you can also do it as long as nobody has access to you and you're currently looking for something new. There's, like I said, there's a wider range of abilities that it has that you can tap into. And I can get into those a little bit further if you'd like. LinkedIn is, they're really starting to stretch out their abilities, and other tools that are out there, Leader, Glassdoor, they actually have those abilities now. So it's becoming kind of a one-stop shop depending on where you are in your career search.
So what do you think the biggest benefit is that you bring to your clients, whether they would be business clients, which I know is more your mainstream, but also for people that are looking to change their career?
Sure. So as far as what I do, I work with a range of different types of businesses. I think that there are a lot of abilities, and I help companies tap into their abilities on LinkedIn if they're a business that serves another business. But there are benefits that someone who's looking to use it maybe to build their sales that serves only consumers, they can use LinkedIn as well. For example, the term power teams, referral base. So you can use LinkedIn to find other companies, other organizations, people who are closely related to your industry. For example, just off the top of my head, a DJ might want to tag up a network with a wedding photographer or a florist because they have services that can complement each other. So there are abilities that LinkedIn can be used to tap into a good referral base as well if you're not a business serving a business. If you are a business serving a business, an ability or a method that you can use for LinkedIn is what's called social selling, and that helps tap into the decision makers, the higher ups, the people that you need to be speaking with to move forward with a possible proposal. But as far as helping people who are looking for a job, I honestly think that LinkedIn is spending a little bit more time making the tool suitable for that reason. Just because, for example, like I said with Glassdoor, you can search salaries appropriate to your position and your current standing. You can do things like finding out your current skill sets and your abilities and how they rank up in comparison to jobs that are out on the market. So it'll actually give you like a percentage rate to how suitable you would be for current open positions that are out there. And then even further, if you're someone who needs some professional help with something like your resume, for example, there's a tool called ProFinder, which is actually when you go to that jobs tab that I was talking about, it gives you a recommendation of resume writers that you can reach out to who can help you buff up your resume and make it suitable for the particular position that you're looking for.
Oh, very good. I know that in that ProFinder area, you can find a resume writer, you can find an interview coach, you can find a career coach. There's several different areas within that. So for somebody who's just getting started with LinkedIn and a job search, what are the parts of LinkedIn that you feel they absolutely must have or must subscribe to?
Sure. So, technology can be scary for a lot of people. you know, signing up for something new or having to learn something new. And you really don't have to, I mean, you need to take a deep breath. And all you really have to do with LinkedIn is just set up a profile. I mean, you add a username, password, email, and set up a profile, and do it in the proper way. Now, you don't want to make your LinkedIn profile as extensive as what a resume would be, but you want to realize that this is a professional platform and you need to set yourself up in a professional manner. So, you know, a good rule of thumb is to use a professional portrait, something with a plain background. Give yourself a good introduction. Talk about your past work history. Maybe even get some recommendations from individuals who know about your work ethic. You can add your skill sets from a list of skill sets that are currently available on LinkedIn. So basically just set up your profile and start connecting with individuals who are in the industries that you want to work in. And you don't really have to explain yourself when you connect with these people. If you set up your profile properly, it'll speak for itself. And if they find some value in you, they're likely to connect.
Wonderful. And I find that with a lot of people that I ultimately work with, that idea of reaching out and starting to connect with people is a little bit intimidating. It's a little bit scary for people. But LinkedIn is a networking platform. And think about it as if you went to a networking meeting. You're not going to walk into a networking meeting, walk up to someone and ask them if they have a job. You're going to walk up to them and engage in a conversation with them. And done properly, you're going to offer something of value in that networking platform. And that's the same with LinkedIn. Interesting. So with regards to the profile picture, you hit on something very key. You wouldn't suggest people put their picture of them at a party with a New Year's Eve hat and a beer in their hand then, right?
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Because for many, as we see on LinkedIn, that profile picture is the first impression someone has of you before they even read your summary, before they even read your tagline, before they even start to get to know who you are. The very first impression is that photo. It needs to be a professional type of photo. It needs to be a business professional or business casual, one of the two. So what do you think are the benefits you provide then ultimately to your customers?
Sure. So, and I kind of touched on this a little bit before. I think that what I do best is getting them up to speed, pulling them into the current era, this current digital era, and getting them successful online. There are a lot of companies who they're still doing things in the old school way, and they're falling behind. They're competitors. I think where the easiest conversations I have is where I go and I talk with a business owner, and we say, well, who are your top competitors right now in the market? And they'll tell them to me, and then we do a quick search and we find, we play detective and we see, well, they're showing up here and here and here. These are markets where you should be as well, that you should be tapping into. They're taking business away from you. So I think that I help with getting people up to speed, or getting companies up to speed, and continuing their success in a unique way. I think that part of what makes me successful is that what I do is not a one-stop shop. It's not, here's the package, we're going to fit you into the package. It's custom, depending on the business and its needs. We find exactly where they're going to flourish and continue forward on that path.
Okay, wonderful. So you said it indirectly there. The benefit you bring is being able to show people almost how to reverse engineer a search, whether it's your career or whether it's what are my competitors? What are my competitors doing? You can reverse engineer that search to figure that out through LinkedIn, and that's another one of the things that makes LinkedIn so powerful. At the end of the video, there'll be a slide that will have all of your contact information. But how would somebody go about reaching you if they wanted to engage with you, either with regards to their business or with regards to LinkedIn tactics for a career search?
Sure. Well, on LinkedIn. No, I mean,
Oh,
yeah. I mean, there's a couple different ways that you can reach out to me. You know, LinkedIn is a good one. I think that a lot of people who will be watching this video might be watching it from LinkedIn, so they'll be able to directly contact me from there. Another good way is to contact me by email. See, rich@flashpoint.agency. You can also go to www.flashpoint.agency. I think those are the best ways. But I work with, I talk a lot about B2B, but I do help a lot of different types of organizations. I work closely with a business co-op as well, a business incubator, and am constantly put in front of businesses that are unique, whether it's serving consumers, serving other businesses, and I'm constantly challenged on ways to find success for them. And it's been constantly on a positive stream. You know, depending on the type of business, we find a way to make them successful, and find out where they're lacking and make sure that their weaknesses become their strengths. So I think that's probably the best way to find me.
okay, wonderful. And again, I'll have a slide here at the end that'll be static and stationary for a little bit, so people can write down your contact information. This has been enjoyable. It's been insightful for me. I hope it's been insightful for the people that will tune into this. And thank you, Rich, for spending some time with me on the show today.
Absolutely.
And again, for anybody that has any questions about using LinkedIn, feel free to reach out and contact Rich. But again, Rich, thank you very much. It's been very, very enjoyable.
All right. Thanks, Greg.
Have a great day now.
You too.